So this is my home built slider rig. It consists of a little slider and it has an NXT robot. The NXT robot is what connects the intervals in between each shot. And on the robot there's a program for my sliders. And what it does is I can choose every 1 second, and for 750 pictures it'll be 12 minutes, or 2 seconds, every 15 seconds, and it calculates it all the way up to every 40 seconds, and that will be an 8-hour 20 minutes time-lapse calculation. Now, and then right here a little switch, and it shows the direction. If I want to go this way, then it goes to the right. If I want to go left, then I just do that. And I just push start. Actually, I'm not going to do 40 seconds. I'll just do every 1. And it will go a certain amount right now. See, this little motor is geared down. It's going every 1 second right now for 0.2 seconds. And it will take about 750 times for this thing to go each direction. And right here I just have a home built like roller coaster type thing, and inside is my timer remote, and there's a ball head, and there's a button right here and right here that when pushed will stop the time lapse. So if I push this button, it'll stop. And if I start it again, now go the other you can go the other direction too. Doesn't go very far, but it shouldn't. Now if I push this button, it'll stop. Now I have my Canon 60D with a Sigma 10 to 20 millimeter lens, and this is what I primarily use for time lapses because it's really wide. And I have a little bubble level on top that helps me get it lined up, but since I have it aimed up at the sky, I'm not going to be using that right now. And as you can see, it's actually looks like it's quite underexposed. But generally you want to take it underexposed for time lapses and then just brighten it later so you can get the highlight in. Now the camera is saying that I should use a 50th a second, and I chose f11 and I chose ISO 100, and that's going to get the proper exposure. That doesn't look like it's right, but I kind of want it underexposed. And it's also good that the shutter speed is under 100th of a second, so it keeps it regular. Now I'm just going to put it into manual mode and then just put those exact same settings in. So bringing the shutter speed back to a 50th, and I'm going to put my aperture at f11, and I already have the ISO at 100. Now I already manually focused this, but what you do is just zoom in 10 times and get the focus right. And then since it's f11, it's already got a pretty wide depth of field. Now if I go in, it's kind of hard to see, and I push menu, I have it on small raw because I want it raw so I can get that detail in the shadows later. I also have a reset program at NXT, so I take the switch and I get in the right direction, and then I'm just going to push reset, and it is going to bring it all the way down to the bottom because I want it to be going uphill afterwards. It does actually take a while, but it's a slow motor and it's really powerful, so it can drag this whole camera and the little trolley it's on up this steep hill. Now you notice I don't actually have to stop this program. Once this button gets touched by the wheel, it stops. Now I have the timer remote underneath here, you can see it a little bit, and I'm just going to plug this into the shutter release because the timer remote is what actually controls the intervals. And I've just got the strap wrapped around the camera right. Now this is the timer mode. I pulled it out a little bit, but right now I have it on a 1 second delay, and I have it shoot every 5 seconds. Well, I need it to be, see that one in the bottom right hand corner, I need that to be go to unlimited, because it only counts up to 399, as you can see. So I need to go to unlimited because I need at least 800 pictures, or 750. So now I'm back at my NXT robot, and I'm just going to choose the program for the time lapses, and I'm going to go over to 5 seconds, and that's going to be 6 hours, or almost 1 hour. So I'm going to start this, put it in the right direction, and once it starts, right here, I'm just going to start the timer mode after I hear it go one more time. See, now it takes a picture, and it takes another picture, and you see it doesn't move very much, but I don't want it to. And right here is the little geared down motor, and this, I just plugged the two sensors in. I spliced some wires. One goes to the buttons, which are in parallel, and then one goes to the motor. Now once this thing finishes, I'll show you what it looks like, a time lapse with a slider, and how much extra it adds versus just a normal time lapse.